Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kristen and today I'm going to film for you my makeup basket for the next couple of weeks. I don't know how long I'm going to do this basket for. I think I'm just going to go with whatever I am feeling, and that could be anywhere from a couple weeks to a month, and if I'm really not feeling the products it might only be a week. It just also depends on my filming schedule. So I think I'm just going to start mixing up my makeup baskets. They're not going to be bi-weekly necessarily, but I think that's the plan initially, is for them to be bi-weekly, but I'm just going to call them my makeup baskets as I have been for the last several makeup basket rotations. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the products that I'm going to keep in from the last basket because I really didn't get a lot of use out of them. And that first thing right here is my Urban Decay shadow box, and I am wearing this today. I have only used this twice, including today, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this in my basket and keep using this because I have started to find a little bit of inspiration with this. The next two products that I did try in my last basket, but I wanted to get a little more use out of, is these two Wet n Wild limited edition highlighters in the Sweetest Bling and Lilac to Reality. I am wearing the Sweetest Bling today with another highlighter that I'm going to go ahead and show you when I get into my products for this basket. So these two are going to go ahead and stay in. Two products I didn't even use in the last basket are my Milani Baked Blush in Bella Bellini and the one in Rosa Romantica, and I just wanted to go ahead and give these a try. So as you will see, going into my basket for this week, I am just super excited about makeup in general. I have a lot of stuff in my basket. I am leaning more towards the philosophy of I'm just going to pull a lot of stuff. I may not use it all, but I'm going to try and use everything and keep things in my basket if I want to keep using them, or if I didn't get to use them, or if I'm really loving them. So those two are going to go ahead and stay in. And two more products. This is the Josie Maran Etheric little balm, highlighter balm that I got in my first Sephora Play Box. I patted this on my cheeks after I did my makeup once, and I wasn't terribly impressed. So I wanted to go and try and use this a couple of different ways and see if I can find a way to enjoy this, because when you look at this, it does have a nice holographic sheen to it, but it really doesn't pack a punch on the skin. So I don't know what this product is really intended for, so I guess I will do a little bit more research on this as well. And the last thing is this lip gloss from Jordana, and this is their Lip Out Loud in the shade ASAP. I just want to finish a gloss this year, so I need to pick one and kind of really stick with it and go for it, and I think this one could pair with some of the lip products that I am using for this basket. So that is also from the last basket. Okay, so the first two products I have here are actually two sample products, and the first one is this Clinique Pep Start Hydro Rush Moisturizer Broad Spectrum SPF 20. The reason why I'm including this is because this is just a part of my normal steps in the morning. I put a moisturizer on, followed by my primer, and then I set it with a loose translucent face powder. So I wanted to include this. I am currently using my Sunday Riley CEO moisturizer as a regular everyday moisturizer, but I wanted to go ahead and slip this one in and try this. So I probably won't finish this, but I do want to get a couple of uses out of this in this basket. And the next one mini I have is this Dr. Jart Plus Premium BB Beauty Balm Multi-Action Skincare Makeup with SPF 45. I am going to use this in place of the primer that I'm currently using, which is my Laura Geller Spackle. I did use the Glam Glow Glow Starter in the last basket. I used that once, but I went back to my Laura Geller pretty quickly because I am trying to finish that up so that I can move on to another primer. So that's probably going to be the case with this as well, but I really wanted to get some use out of this because I know Tara Babies really loves this, and I want to see what the hype is all about. Even though I don't really need SPF on a daily basis, it is nice to have that protection, so I do want to try this. Another little mini I have is my Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder in Translucent. This is never been used. I was using my Tarte Smooth Operator Mini Powder, and I finished that as well. So I wanted to go ahead and break into this. You can see the safety seal is still on. I haven't broken into this yet. So these three will be my morning routine. At least a couple of times in this basket, my first 3 steps of the day. And the next thing I have is this Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot All Day Liquid to Powder Foundation. I want to try this. This is in the shade Fair Enough, and I think that's so cute. I love when brands get really creative with their names. I am currently using my IT Cosmetics CC Plus Radiation, oh, that sounds awful, CC Plus Illumination, and I wanted to try this out, so I'm going to try this by itself, and I'm also going to try this mixed with my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, because that product is in a project and I'm using it with only foundations that don't already have some glow to them. So I'm going to use this by itself first, and then I want to try and mix that in, but I will still be using my IT Cosmetics CC Plus Illumination because that is in a project and I want to finish that up. So a new powder that I have is this MAC Prep and Prime Transparent Finishing Powder Pressed, and this is in the Chris Chang packaging. So I want to try this to powder my face either before or after my foundation. I may use it after I've used this a couple times. I may try this because I haven't tried a pressed version for that. I may also try this with concealer underneath my eyes to set that, because I've been using my NARS Crystal Translucent Setting Powder. So that is going to be in my basket. Moving on to blush and bronzer. I already showed you the other 2 that are going to carry over. Well, one is a highlighter and one is a blush, even though they're both marketed as blushes, those Milani ones. I pulled out my MAC Proenza Schuler blush in the shade Ocean City. I remember how gorgeous this product was. This is their ombre blush from the Proenza Schuler. There was a pink one as well. I do have that also, but I was so excited. I saw somebody pull this out. I think it was Lisa Stevens in her Shop My Stash videos. She had this in her basket, and I was so excited to go ahead and pull this out and use this again. So I have that, and I have the Benefit California blush, which I'm also really excited to use. This is a gorgeous blush, and it still has that gold overspray that I know goes away after the first use, but I hear that it's still super gorgeous after you get that initial gold overspray off. And for bronzer, I am switching over to my Cabana Bronze by Kardashian Beauty. The reason why I'm switching over to this is I have already hit my goal on the Sun Bunny bronzer for both my project and for my end of the year project. I have another goal to hit pan on this. I think really and truly my goal was to hit pan on a bronzer, but I had listed both of these as potential, so I'd like to try and hit pan on this one as well. And then if I can do that, I will go back to my Sun Bunny bronzer and I will try and finish that this year. I know some people wanted me to continue with that, even though I had hit a little bit of pan, but I have hit a little bit more significant pan now, so I feel like I can move on to this. I love this bronzer. It is a really cool toned bronzer that just looks really great. I don't feel like it makes me look too overdone. I am wearing it today. I just feel like it ties my entire look together. I really tried to wear a bronzerless look yesterday, and I wasn't used to seeing myself without bronzer, so when I put this on, it just really tied everything together and it looked really great. I don't know that it was necessarily this. I just needed bronzer in general, but this definitely looked really great when I used it. So on to highlighter. You saw the other two highlighters plus the one Milani highlighter slash blush that is going to stay in my basket. And the product that I am using the Sweetest Bling with today is one that I am going to try and use with all of the highlighters, which I went highlighter crazy this basket, but I'm going to try and use this with all of the highlighters this basket because this is a product that is in my project as well. Again, I've also hit goal on that particular thing, but this was another potential product that I had listed for that goal, and this is the Mary Luminizer. This is, my goal was to finish a mini highlighter or eyeshadow that I was using as a highlighter, and I finished my mixologist from Bare Minerals, but I started using this Mary Luminizer, and there's so many highlighters that I want to use that I was a little bit hesitant to start using this for progress purposes because I wanted to use so many other things. But then I started layering highlighters over top of this, and I have loved it every single time. So that's the goal. This is my Mary Luminizer right now. It's very, very tiny. And as you can see, no progress whatsoever thus far. So that is going to be my base highlighter. I do also have a cream highlighter from MAC that I have been using just underneath my makeup. I didn't include it in this basket. I think I've shown it in previous baskets. So that's kind of a thing too, where if there are things that I'm still using kind of on a regular basis and I've shown them in baskets, I don't show them again because this video is already going to be long enough. I didn't want to include too much. So the next highlighter I have is this Too Faced Love Light blush in prismatic highlighter, excuse me, in Blinded by the Light. And this looks like this. This is just their most champagne-y kind of highlight from this collection. Really excited to use this. I know that there have been mixed reviews on this. Some people say that it's very, very glittery. I just watched a video from Young, Wild, and Polished, and she has loved this every single time she's used it, so I'm really excited to use this. Another highlighter product I have is this Tarte Spellbound Glow Rainbow Highlighter. And that's what that looks like. It's got several different pastel colors to it. Really excited to try this as well. I also have this Becca Jaclyn Hill palette right here. And this has blushes and highlighters. So this is what this looks like right here. I do already have Champagne Pop kind of in my project pan for the year because I'm trying to get progress in Hit Pan on highlighters. So that was in there as a product that I was using. So the only new highlighter that's in here is Prosecco Pop, and that's not even really why I have this palette here. So I really should have included this in my blushes, but I've been doing a look that I got from Liv Loves Makeup, or Liv Loves Her Makeup, with this shade right here in Rose Spritz. And I figured I could get some more use out of this palette. I may or may not use this basket, but I figured I would have it on hand just because I used it the other day with that Rose Spritz for a look. So that is it for my highlighters. I'm going to move on to my eye products, and the palette I was going to use this week was my Naked 3 by Urban Decay, but I kind of got into using some other palettes, and I use them here and there, and I wanted to include them in this basket to get some more use out of them. Actually, just one of them really, but this is the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. This is what this looks like if you guys don't know. I've been doing a look with that I also got from Liv Loves Her Makeup in with Spread the Love Peanut Butter Cup, and that's pretty much it. But I love that look, and I wanted to have the potential to keep using it. Also, a friend of mine did a look with jelly all over her lid, and that was on Instagram, and I said, oh my god, I have to pull that palette out. So I went ahead and pulled that out, and in conjunction with this palette, I was also using the shade Amber Rush by L'Oreal, their Infallible eyeshadow line. So these two products pair really well together, but I can use this product with my other eyeshadow picks for the basket. So the next thing I have is this Tarte Make Believe in Yourself like rainbow color wheel palette right here, and as you can see, these are all metallic shadows with the exception of Myth right here, and this is a highlighter in the center which could also be used as a metallic eyeshadow as well. It kind of reminds me of Kat Von D, what is that shade? The Kat Von D Thunderstruck highlighter, or Metal Cross Shadow. So I'm really excited to try that and see if it resembles that, because MAC's Vanilla Pigment really resembles that. So I'm excited to see if that is a pressed dupe for that product. And the next eyeshadow palette I have is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. Super excited to use this palette as well. Everybody's seen this all over YouTube and Instagram, but this is something that I have not yet used, and I'm really, really excited to do that for this basket. And that is all I have for eyeshadow products, but I do have two more eye products. A drugstore mascara that I'm going to go ahead and pull in is the Maybelline The Falsies Big Eyes. I am wearing this today in conjunction with my Chanel Le Volume de Chanel mascara. So this has a upper lash and lower lash component. So this is the brush for the upper lashes, and this is the wand for the lower lashes. So you can see that's much thinner and smaller. I do enjoy this. At first, I was having a hard time building this up on my eyelashes. I do feel like I could get away with using this on its own, but I did want to see how well it worked with the Chanel Le Volume de Chanel, because Liv from Liv Loves Makeup does this with every basket that she does, or with every favorites video that she does. She has a combo, and usually she will use a combo of a natural bristle brush and a rubber bristle brush. So I wanted to give that a shot, and I did, and I love both products. I could probably use them both by themselves, but I love both products. The next product I have is the Prestige Total Intensity Against All Odds Liquid Ink Liner in the shade Around the Clock. This is a purple shade. I feel like this matches really well to the Jelly from the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, although you really couldn't or wouldn't use this with the Jelly shade, because I feel like it's just going to get lost, but I feel like I could use this with this palette, even if I'm not using the shade Jelly, and really get the same effect, really tie in that color from the palette. So I went ahead and pulled this out. I put this on last night when I was wearing a look from the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, and I must say, as loud of a shade as this is and as glittery as this is, it really was kind of toned down on the eye for some reason. And I feel like the more you go over this, the more it like wipes itself away. It's one of those kind of products. So I maybe need to let it dry completely down and try and go over it again then, and I will let you guys know in the next basket how I feel about that. The next things are lip products. Even though I'm trying to pan lip products, one of the things I want to do this year is finish 2 MAC lip products. So I went through my MAC collection last night, and I picked out a couple of lipsticks that I would like to use for this basket, and I really want to nail down to one that I want to keep using for the year potentially. So the first product right here I have on my lips, and this is the Huggable Lip Color in the shade Love Beam. I went on their site last night to see if they still had these, and it doesn't look like they do. It looks like they have huggable glosses, but not the huggable lipsticks anymore. I don't know if any of their other formulas took over for this, because they do have a couple of new formulas that may be, or at least new names that may be similar to this formula. I really, really love this formula, and I love this shade. As loud as this looks right here in the tube, this is what I have on my lips, and I put this on right before this video. Other than talking a bunch during this video, I haven't eaten or rubbed this off in any way, so this is the way this looks on the lips. What I will say is I really, really loved this when I put it on last night, but I feel right now and maybe it's just because I've been talking a lot, like it's collecting in the center of my lips. And it could just be my lips themselves and not the lip color. I can't really see in my viewfinder, so I'm sorry if I have like really nasty looking lips right now. I'll have to see how this wears, you know, in times when I'm talking a lot, and see how I feel about this. But initially, like on first application, the way it feels on the lips, I really, really love this, and this might be one that I want to pan for the year because this shade is really, really pretty. The next one I have is this Cream Sheen in Creme de Nude. I know I had this in a basket fairly recently, but I know I enjoyed wearing this, and this is a shade that I could potentially pan for the year. This is the shade in Kinda Sexy. I've seen several different YouTubers wearing this recently. One of those is Stephanie from the Daisy Girlie. I think she's actually panning this. So I wanted to pull this out and use this for the week. My phone keeps lighting up, so I think somebody's Snapchatting me. And the last one is this Luster shade in Syrup. And this is what this looks like right here. It's a really cool dusty mauve color, and I've wanted to use this for a long time, but I've just had it sitting in my collection and never used it. So that is it for my makeup basket. I know it was quite long. I think probably like 27 minutes at this point, or very close to it, but I appreciate you guys for sticking around. I'm really super excited about this basket this week, even if I don't get to everything, which I used to have that philosophy that I wanted to use everything in my basket. And don't get me wrong, I do want to use everything in my basket, but I am just going to see where this basket takes me, use the things I enjoy using, and I'm really really excited about makeup this basket, or this week, or just this period of time. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. I forgot that I wanted to show you real quick some fragrances for the week too. That's another thing that Liv Loves Her Makeup does that I really enjoy, but she really talks about them in her favorites, but I figured I would go ahead and mention a couple that I want to use in this basket. So the first thing I have is this Pink Beach Flower Body Mist, and I really enjoy this scent, but I do think it would mix really well with some other things. So one thing that I thought I would try to mix it with is this Britney Spears Fantasy perfume. I really love this. This is in my project this year. I want to finish up a perfume. I don't care which one it is. And I've been focusing on some. I want to finish up my CK1 Summer this year. I want to finish that up by summer, so that's in a project. So that's kind of got a little bit more of a timeline on it. But I'm also neglecting a lot of my other fragrances too. So I wanted to pull a couple in for each basket and get some use out of those, especially some of the ones that are also in my goals to finish up for the year. So these two are going to be my fragrances that I really focus on this week. They're not going to be the only things that I use, but I'm going to use these probably more often than anything else, just because I want to get progress on other things other than what's in my projects. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I just wanted to slip that in there.